They say the ocean is the world's largest cemetery, but what radars don't show is that some of the dead refuse to stay submerged. My name is Samuel, and I spent 20 years in the Merchant Navy. I've seen storms that would bend steel, but nothing compares to what emerged from the fog at coordinates 44.2. Where there should have been nothing but an abyss, a light appeared. A red light that pulsed like a sick heart. The cold that night wasn't normal. It wasn't the Atlantic wind, it was a chill that came from inside the bones. The radio started to crackle, but it wasn't static. It sounded like breathing. A slow, heavy breath that followed the rhythm of the red light flashing on the horizon. I looked at the radar. The screen was clear. The GPS said we were in open water, but my eyes showed me a stone tower that seemed to tear through the sky. This is just one of the files I've kept hidden for years. If you seek the truth behind what science ignores, subscribe now to Sector Unknown. What I'm about to narrate was erased from official logbooks, and your subscription ensures these accounts are never forgotten. The freighter's engine simply stopped. The silence in the middle of the Atlantic is deafening. That's when the fog parted. In front of us, an impossible black rock held a stone lighthouse that looked 1,000 years old. The windows were shattered, but the lantern at the top, it was spinning. But it didn't emit white light to guide ships. It was a crimson red that seemed to stain the water itself with blood. As the boat drifted, the smell reached us. It wasn't the smell of salt or fish. It was the smell of oxidized metal and something organic like meat forgotten in the sun. The captain ordered total silence, but the ship seemed to take on a life of its own. Creaks we'd never heard before began to echo through the metal corridors. It felt like the ship was trying to warn us not to get close to that light. Every time the red beam passed over us, the shadows on the deck seemed to lift off the floor for a fraction of a second. Through the radio we started hearing voices. They weren't cries for help. They were names. Names of crew members who were right there with me on the deck. The radio shouldn't have been picking up anything at that distance, but the voices knew who we were. We decided to lower a boat. The captain was in a trance. When we got within 10 yards of the rock, the red light stopped spinning. It focused exactly on us. At that moment, the sea around the lighthouse began to bubble. Thousands of pale hands began to climb the stone walls of the lighthouse. They weren't people, they were shells. And they had no nails or defined fingers. They were just human shapes made of a substance that looked like black tar. And then the sound began. A high-pitched wail, as if thousands of voices were trying to scream underwater at the same time. The water around the boat began to glow with a sickly bioluminescence, revealing the silhouette of something colossal passing beneath us. The captain shouted for us to go back, but he wasn't looking at the lighthouse. He was looking down at the water. He saw something below us that was larger than the freighter itself. And it was just waiting for the red light to go out so it could rise. We managed to restart the engines by a miracle and fled at full speed. The next day the sky was clear. We returned to the same coordinates. The GPS marked the exact spot. But there was no rock, no lighthouse, only the infinite blue of the sea. Whether what we saw was a rift in time or a warning of what lives in the depths, I don't know. But every night, when I close my eyes, I still see that red flash blinking in the darkness of my mind.